A 5-1 start has positioned the Columbus State University Cougars for a good spot in Peach Belt Conference play as that approaches quickly coming up on Saturday. But prior to the start of conference play, they have one more non-conference battle, and that'll come your way in just a matter of moments here as they'll take on the Wildcats of Fort Valley State University. Hello, everyone. Welcome inside the Frank G. Lumpkin Center on the campus of Columbus State University here in Columbus, Georgia, as we get set for Cougar basketball here on Cougar Sports TV. Stephen Williams here with you on this Monday night, a rare Monday night of action inside the Lumpkin Centers. The Cougars, led by head coach Robert Moore, 5-1 on the season, get ready to take on the Wildcats of Fort Valley State, who are 0-6 so far this season. Sammy Jackson leading his Wildcats in here in his fourth season at the helm there in Fort Valley, Georgia. The Cougars on a two-game winning streak in non-conference play. Victories last week over Coastal Georgia and over Carver College in non-conference action. They close out the non-conference slate tonight, and then they'll welcome in Armstrong State University, a longtime Peach Belt Conference rival, to start off conference play this weekend. Earlier, we had a chance to catch up with the Cougar boss, Robert Moore. Let's let you hear what the head boss had to say. Cougar head coach Robert Moore with us as we get set for Fort Valley State on this Monday night. Coach, 5-1 through the non-conference portion of the schedule to this point. Last one coming up here tonight before we get into conference play on Saturday. How do you feel about how things have gone through 6 games?
I see a lot of good things from our team, Stephen. I think we're playing better defense. We jump into help side. I still think we got to get a little bit better on contesting shots and rebounding from the defensive side of the ball. And I want to see us a little bit more fluent on offense. I think we're really good in transition. That's the best part of our offense right now, but we got to really get better in half-court sets and run our half-court offense.
Came into the year with all of these seniors that had been here, been in this program. Have they given you something a little different this year?
For the most part, I think their leadership has been good. And the thing about them, they played last year, so they know the league. They know the other opponents that we're playing. So I think they're a little bit more prepared. But I want them to show a little bit more leadership toward the younger guys, freshmen, and some of the juniors that we have, and I think we'll be fine.
On Saturday, you had Carver College come in here. You picked up a 10-point win. It was a game that was a little bit more spread out than that before they got hot there in the last couple minutes. What did you think of your group on Saturday?
I thought we started off slow. I thought we was a little sluggish. And then I thought the second half we really picked it up on defense. Carver had 2 really good players that caused you a lot of problems. I didn't think we did a good job on those 2 guys. One guy had 24 and one guy had 22 points. I think we got to do a little bit better job of staying focused for 40 minutes and closing teams out.
So with an older group now, because a lot of times that's something you see with the younger guys, how do you emphasize that in practice? How do you get them to do that?
I think more than anything, just staying focused in practice and watching film and saying, guys, hey, we had a little 5-minute segment here that we really didn't do anything, and I think we can't have those laws. I think we had those laws last year where we went 7-8 minutes without scoring a field goal, those kind of things, turning it over, missing free throws. I think we got to stay a little bit more focused on taking care of little things, and I think we'll be fine.
Saturday we watched Chevy Keaton come in here off the bench, really spark the group with 11 assists. How do you see that point guard role kind of shaking out tonight, and what's your plan for that?
We're still going to start Ty Harris. He's the bigger guy. He played a lot last year, but I think Chevy brings that kind of continuity to the team that we need. He finds guys in transition. He knows how to break down the defense and get guys better shots. And those are the kind of things that we've been working on with all our point guards, just not Chevy. And I think if our point guards understand that they have to get everybody involved before they look out for themselves, I think that they'll have good games. And I thought Chevy did that on Saturday. He really got his teammates involved. And when you get guys involved like that, Tim Dixon started running the floor harder, D'Angelo Kirkland started rebounding, guys start setting better screens. It's just contagious that they start doing other things well when they know they're going to get the basketball.
Let's look at D'Angelo, the improvement he's made from last year to this year. You look at he's averaging a double-double. He's leading the Peach Belt Conference in rebounding. Where has his biggest improvement come from last year to now?
I think staying a little bit more focused on the floor when he's on the floor, knowing that he can do certain things really well and concentrating on those 2 or 3 things that he can do really well. I thought last year he tried to do a little too much, tried to take too many outside shots. I think now he knows he's a great rebounder, so he go into the glass. He knows that he can drive guys. because he's kind of quick for his size. I think he's sticking to those two things, and he's doing those two things really well. I think that's helping his game. And he did a great job this summer and the preseason getting stronger so he can finish on the inside.
Fort Valley State, the team coming in here tonight, and they come in here with an 0-6 record, but you look at it probably not the same way you'd prepare for an 0-6 team because they've played a lot of teams really close this year.
Oh, yeah, and they're a rival team. You know, a lot of people from Columbus are from Fort Valley, and we always had that little rival thing with Fort Valley State. So I told my guys, this is not an easy game. And Stevens the kind of game that we want, though, to prepare for Armstrong Atlantic, because Armstrong Atlantic got the same kind of team that you see at Fort Valley. They're athletic, they're strong, they can cause you problems on the outside and the inside. So it's going to be a tough game for us, and I hope our guys are ready.
We've looked at it, Fort Valley, you talk about the post players in there. They go 6'11 and 7 foot. You talk about your tallest going at 6'10, and Tim doesn't really have the stockiness to match up with them. So how do you have to go about defending some of that in the post?
No, we got to bring their big guys outside so we can cut to the basket and drive them. We can't just let them sit in the paint and on the block and just score. So we're going to do some little things that we worked on in practice yesterday, of taking their big guys away from the paint and being able to drive them to the basket. So if our guys execute the game plan, I think we'll be fine. But those big guys can cause us trouble, so we got to be ready to double down on them if we have to.
Coach, final non-conference game of the year. We're looking forward to it. Best of luck.
All right, thanks, Steven.
Head coach Robert Moore giving you his final thoughts here from the Lumpkin Center as they get set to take on Fort Valley State in the final non-conference game as they get set for Armstrong here on Saturday. But some business to take care of tonight before we start focusing on Peach Belt Conference play. Fort Valley does come in here 0-6, but as you heard Robert Moore say, this is a team that can be a little pesky. They're very athletic, maybe not the most talented bunch, but they are explosive, and when they get going, they can really light it up. For CSU, they will be playing a man down tonight out of their starting lineup. Shane Hayward not in uniform for tonight's contest, so that will take someone out of the middle for this team, and that'll be something that you'll keep an eye on all night because Fort Valley, very big across the front line. You look at it, 6'9" in the middle, 6'11", 7 foot coming off the bench, so they have some very good size on this team for Fort Valley. And CSU, outside of Tim Dixon at 6'10", they don't really go any taller than about 6'7" anywhere else on the floor. So size advantage definitely in the favor of Fort Valley in the blue uniforms tonight. Columbus State, though, coming off a pair of victories, and it's D'Angelo Kirkland that's really been playing well and leading this team so far through this season. You look at what he did last week, 15 points and 17 rebounds in a victory he had, or CSU had rather, on Wednesday against Coastal Georgia. He followed it up with another double-double on Saturday against Carver College, 18 points and 11 rebounds for him. He has 3 double-doubles for the year, 4 double-digit rebounding nights, and they're going to need him in all facets tonight, rebounding and scoring, to take care of things for them tonight with the absence of Shane Hayward. Instead, Tim Dixon will get the start in the middle, and the transfer from Georgia, the Columbus native, did have a very good day on Saturday. You heard Robert Moore talking about him, at the effect that Chevy Keaton had on the entire team and Tim Dixon in particular, and he did a really good job of running the floor and finishing off the easy ones. So they'll look to set him up for similar things tonight and hope that he can provide a presence around the rim that they'll need against some of these bigger players. Fort Valley State, a team that struggled to score the basketball a little bit this year. You look down the list for them, they have five games under 70 points. They've not scored more than 71 in any game, and they have a couple of games with under 50 on the ledger this season. So that'll be something they'll have to do tonight, is score against a Columbus State team that will want to get out and push the tempo, force the issue, and get this game up into the 70s and 80s, and that is not where Fort Valley would like to play. We're moments away from tip-off here on Cougar Sports TV, Columbus, Georgia, your home for Columbus State athletics, soccer, volleyball, basketball, baseball, and softball, all for you right here on Cougar Sports TV. In just a moment, we'll send it across the way to our public address announcer, Brian Solito, as he gets you ready with your starting lineups and your national anthem here from the Lumpkin Center. It's Columbus State University and Fort Valley State University. Final non-conference game of the 2014-15 campaign. Cougars looking to get to 6-1 as we set you up for the tip.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Columbus State University and the Frenchie Lumpkin Center for tonight's men's basketball matchup featuring the Wildcats In just a moment, we'll introduce tonight's starting lineups, but first we ask that you please rise and remove your hats. Here to sing tonight's national anthem, please welcome Columbus State student Frankie Mincy.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets recognize the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sang does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Frankie Mincy. And now, tonight's starters. First for the Wildcats of Fort Valley State University. At one forward, 6'6", a senior from Savannah, Georgia, number 0, Tyrone Brinson. At forward, 6'9", a junior from Jackson, Mississippi, number 30, Jordan Cornelius. At center, 6'11", a senior from Montgomery, Alabama, number 42, Montreal Howard. At guard, 6 feet tall, a senior from Augusta, Georgia, number 11, Desmond Laughlin. And at guard, 6'1", a senior from Atlanta, Georgia, number 1, Derek Spear. The head coach of the Wildcats is Sandy Jackson, assisted by Kareem Kenny, Henry Mazik, and Derek Clark. And now, Cougar fans, let's meet and greet the starters. First and forward, 6'8", a senior from Pensacola, number 24, D'Angelo Earthland. At center, 6'10", a senior from Columbus, Georgia, number 5, Tim Dixon. At point guard, 6'2", a senior from NOLA, number 10, Ty Harris. At one guard, 6'4", a senior from Orlando, number 4, BJ Bell. And at guard, 6'4", a senior from Charlotte, number 0, Kenny Thunder. The head coach of the Cougars is Robert Moore, assisted by the head coach Justin Newton and Carl Little.
Your starting lineups from the Lumpkin Center here in Columbus as we're set for tip-off here on Cougar Sports TV. In white for the Cougars, it'll be Kenny Funderburk, BJ Battle, and Ty Harris, your backcourt, the 3 guards for Robert Moore's Cougars. In the middle, D'Angelo Kirkland, the senior from Pensacola, back-to-back double-doubles, and Tim Dixon, the senior from right here in Columbus, the Georgia transfer. Getting his first start in a Cougar uniform was Shane Hayward, not in uniform tonight. On the opposite side for Fort Valley, the road blue uniforms, the white writing, the yellow trim. Ty Brinson, Derek Spear, a former Cougar, Desmond Laughlin along with Jordan Cornelius, and Montrell Holly, the man in the middle with the long dreads, wearing number 42 for Fort Valley. It's Cornelius and Dixon to jump it up in the center. The tip tapped a couple of times into Harris's hands, and Columbus State working right to left as you're looking at it, has the opening possession. Cougars trying to go 6-1 in the non-conference portion of the schedule before they hit Peach Belt Conference action this weekend. Only blemish on the record, a loss at St. Leo the day before Thanksgiving. They'll give it off Dixon. He'll try a long two that misses everything too strong. And Derek Spear has the backside rebound. Derek Spear, the point guard for this team, was on this Columbus State roster a year ago. Played in 13 games, averaged 4 points, an assist and a half a game. Didn't see much time. He was about 3 or 4 down the depth chart for Robert Moore's bunch, so he decided for his final year he was going to head off, play somewhere else, and made Fort Valley his destination. So a return to his former playing ground here tonight. There's a turnover. Funderburk with the steal, the outlet to Battle, and our first two of the night belongs to Columbus State, and it's a jam for BJ Battle. CSU looking to turn this Fort Valley State team over and turn the defense into offense. That's been the recipe for success for them so far this season. Force turnovers and get a lot off of those. Get out and run. Spear off a screen, a long two, falls off to the right. You see the height of Fort Valley tipping that one around. Funderburk, though, streaking to the other end. He'll back it out and let Harris set it up top. Robert Moore, year number 5 of his tenure here at Columbus State. A year that he really wanted to prove some things with this Columbus State team, as a foul on the ball will go against Jordan Cornelius, the junior out of Jackson, Mississippi, picking up the foul. They get it in underneath, and Kirkland, they're going to say, traveled with it as he was trying to pump fake to the rim, so a CSU turnover. Robert Moore, 61 victories in his 5 seasons, well, 4+ seasons rather. He's won 53% of his games. 14 wins a year ago, and they're over a third of the way to that point this season. And now a foul on the ball is going to go against Ty Harris. A little too tight on the guard that time by Harris. A foul per side as the offense a little behind the defense here in the first 2 minutes. CSU, see Ty Harris coming out high, guarding the ball. CSU not going to leave a lot of free room. This is Spear putting it on the deck, has it swatted away by Dixon. That's what Dixon adds. That shot blocking presence in the middle. Funderburk high off the glass on the other end. CSU with a couple of transition baskets. They hold a 4-0 lead. Brinson, a 3 from the corner. The lefty knocks it down. Funderburk, other end, quick answer, gets the friendly roll. Bounces a couple of times and down. Funderburk with 4. Brinson, another interesting story for this team, as he'll try from the same exact spot. This one missed a little to the left. Brinson practiced with this Columbus State team a lot of last year. He was here in school, decided not to stick around for this year to play as a Columbus State Cougar. Instead, transferred to Fort Valley. Spear misses again, his 3rd miss. Another tap and another chance, and Brinson misses a 4th opportunity at it. But CSU getting killed on the glass at the moment. Fort Valley going across the front at 6'11", 6'9", and 6'6" right now, as Funderburk gets called for the foul on the reach. Already feeling the lack of Shane Hayward inside. Fort Valley just 1 of 7 to start from the field. But 5-2 on the glass for the Wildcats. Robert Moore jumping almost on top of an official there, wanting a foul call. Instead, they get a foul against CSU away from the ball, and that's on Tim Dixon. So CSU has committed 3 fouls in the first 3 minutes and 36 seconds of this one. So a fresh 35 for Fort Valley, who's had this basketball for quite a while on this end of the floor. Derek Spear up top being guarded closely by Funderburk. Funderburk never broke from the 5-second call, nearly got it. Cornelius lost it for a moment, nearly traveled, and instead they'll extend it out up high, still with 15. This is Laughlin driving into the paint, dumps it off. Cornelius lost it and then had it stolen. Funderburk streaking to the other end, all the way to the rim, left-handed finish. Funderburk with a quick, easy 6. CSU making 4 of its first 5. 4 consecutive after they missed the opening shot of the game. Brinson puts it on the floor. The floater doesn't go. The tap follow is there for Cornelius. That size playing a huge factor early on. Funderburk. A heat check for him from 18 feet. Hits off the front of the rim. Brinson driving to the rim, and Kirkland underneath him is picking up the blocking foul. So 4 of the 5 Cougar starters now with a foul early on. And with 15:10 to go in this first half, we have our first media timeout of the night. 8-5 Cougars in front. Final non-conference game of this regular season. Stephen Williams back here with you on Cougar Sports TV. Offense a little slow out of the gate. CSU struggling on the glass as the Cougars being out-rebounded here in the early goings without Shane Hayward in uniform tonight. Robert Moore choosing to keep him off the court. Tyrone Brinson at the foul line coming out of the timeout. CSU already with 4 fouls in the first 5 minutes. Chevy Keaton, who sparked this team off the bench at the point guard spot on Saturday, had a career-high 11 assists, and he's out there now to run the show. And Keaton stepped on the sideline, so a turnover on the opening possession as Fort Valley springs on a little on-ball pressure. Well, Fort Valley picks up the turnover. They'll head it back the other way with a chance to tie or lead. Cougars holding the 2-point edge, but for no longer as Derek Spear, who I'm sure feels like he has a lot to prove tonight, has his first bucket of the game to tie this one at 8. Spear, the former Cougar, you know he'd love to have a great game in front of his former team. Kirkland to the rim, falling left, goes off glass. Kirkland with his first basket of the game. That one tipped away. Holly ended up with it underneath. And they're going to say he was the last one to touch it, and the Cougars will keep it. Ralph Wilson, the 7-footer out of Americus, Georgia, out there in the middle, so even taller now for Fort Valley State on the interior. They go 7 foot, 6'11". Between that post combo right now. Brent Jackson into the game for the first time for the Cougars. Keaton, Jackson, along with Funderburk, Kirkland, and Dixon. Kirkland with Wilson guarding him. Wilson tipped it away from behind. They'll outlet it to Spear. He'll go up, fight off the body contact. The first miss isn't good, but running the floor, Brinson now is 6, and Fort Valley State has again leveled the contest. Brinson the leading scorer for this team, but Fort Valley with nobody averaging double figures. 9.3 a game is all that Brinson averages as the team leader. There is Funderburk again. Funderburk with 8, and Sammy Jackson not happy on the Fort Valley State sideline. Stomping his feet over there. Looked like he was frustrated with Ralph Wilson. Brinson to the rim. Left hand doesn't go, but a foul coming up on the shot against Brent Jackson will send Brinson back to the line. So Columbus State very quickly putting itself near the bonus. Not even 7 minutes gone by. The good thing for them on that note is Fort Valley State not a good free throw shooting team this year, under 58%. Brinson, though, has 2 of his first 3. Kirkland will sit. Dimitri Davis is in. On the opposite side, Holly sits as Fort Valley goes a little bit smaller. Demario Black, the senior from Warner Robins, Georgia, in for the first time. Brinson now with 8. Ties Funderburk for the game high as it's 12 all. Dixon, the turnaround from 15 feet. You heard Robert Moore allude to that in the pregame interview. He said we want to pull the big guys away from the rim. And at 6'10", if Tim Dixon can knock it down from 15 feet, they will do just that, as an illegal screen coming up against Brinson will send it back the other way. Brinson picking up the foul, his first, the team's second, and CSU with it back in a 2-point edge. Cougars 7 of 9 from the field so far, and everything inside the arc. Nothing from the outside just yet. Funderburk will try again, and he's fouled. May have sold it just a little bit, but a little body contact will send Kenny to the foul line. Demario Black picks up the foul, his first. Kenny Funderburk, 1 of 5 Cougars, averaging double figures on the season. He's averaging 16.5. As Funderburk closing in on double figures, his second free throw can put him there. 7.5 minutes in. Funderburk, the senior out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Led the team in scoring a year ago, and he's doing it again at a higher clip this year. 16-12 as Jackson just got called for his second in the backcourt on the press. So for Jackson, that's number 2. He will sit, as will Dixon. BJ Battle comes back. D'Angelo Kirkland back as well. Keaton, Funderburk, Davis, Kirkland, and Battle in white for Columbus State. Brinson from straight on. Nothing but nylon. Tyrone Brinson into double figures. Give him 11. Going toe-to-toe with Kenny Funderburk right now early on. Keaton drops it off. Kirkland, another big man stepping out and knocking down a long 2. That will go a long way to taking away that interior presence that Fort Valley offers, although this is the smallest they've been on the floor all night. Just one of their 3 big guys in the middle on the court. Brinson being guarded by Dimitri Davis. Wilson coming out to set the screen. Kirkland hedges. Spear, the tough runner. Good defense by CSU on the possession. And Davis with good position. Bad outlet pass, nearly turned it over. Funderburk's going to make something out of nothing. And Davis will grab the rebound and draw the foul. Dimitri Davis doing a good job at just 6'3", going in amongst a couple of taller guys and grabbing a couple of rebounds here on back-to-back possessions. Foul goes on Derek Spear. It's his first, and we have reached the under-12 media. 11:24 to play in the opening half, 18-15. Columbus State still holding the edge early in the contest. 18-15, Cougars by 3. Trying to run off their second 3-game winning streak of this season. They opened the year with 3 consecutive wins, took a loss on the road at St. Leo, trying to make it 3 in a row here. As Dimitri Davis to the line, they say he was in the act of shooting before the timeout, so he'll have 2 shots from the foul line. CSU, like Fort Valley, has not been stellar from the foul line for the year, 63% for the Cougars. Dimitri Davis taking just his 3rd and 4th free throws of the year. Those were his first 2 misses as the long carom winds up in the Fort Valley bench. Ball to the Wildcats as CSU will go to the full court press. Fort Valley going back large in the middle again. Wilson out there, Holly along with Demario Black, who outlets that one up, and Holly couldn't hold on to it. Leroy Broner out there for the first time as Davis got Wilson in the air, and Davis laid it in. Broner out there for the first time, and Desmond Laughlin out there back in after he started and then sat. Cougars with their largest lead at 20-15. Laughlin coming off the screen, and the high hedge by Davis draws the blocking foul, and that's the 7th, so with 10:48 to go, CSU has put Fort Valley in the bonus. Ralph Wilson comes off the floor, Jordan Cornelius back in, as it's Desmond Laughlin, the 6-foot senior guard out of Augusta, Georgia. 61% from the foul line this year, and that one barely drew iron at all on its way by. Again, this is just a 58% shooting free throw team. As CSU now having to deal with a little pressure in the backcourt and near the midcourt stripe. Keaton still in at point guard, drops it off for Kirkland. The fall away hook over the Twin Towers comes up short. They don't have to block shots to be effective, just change some. And there's Davis in the right spot again. Dimitri Davis giving CSU some good minutes. Keaton goes coast to coast, battle, a 3 from the corner. First 3-point attempt of the night for the Cougars, and BJ Battle knocks it down. Battle extends it out to an 8-point game now. The answer from the southpaw Broner is an air ball, way too strong. And now a reach-in foul on the far side of the floor. Coming against Desmond Laughlin, that's his first. Dixon back, Harris back. Keaton and Davis will sit. Derek Spear comes back in as Broner will sit down. Midway point of this first half, CSU opening up its widest lead at 8. Underneath, they lost BJ Battle, and Kirkland found him for the easy 2. Battle with 7, and it's a 10-point game, and Sammy Jackson wants timeout. Cougars 11 of 15 from the floor to start this contest in less than 11 minutes of action, 25-15. They have a 10-point edge on Fort Valley here on Cougar Sports TV.
Once again, that's CSU Cougars at CSU Cougars on Twitter. Don't forget to use the hashtag GoCSU, and you can connect with the rest of Cougar Nation.
Cougars with the 10-point edge, 9.5 to go in this first half. CSU stretching this lead out. They've run off 7 consecutive since the under-12 media timeout. They've made it a 10-point game. Dixon with long arms takes that one away. Funderburk in transition just inside the foul line. Kenny Funderburk having himself a first half. Funderburk now 5 of 7 from the field, and he has 12. Cougars red hot from the field, and they're getting a lot of easy ones, and there's an unforced turnover against Fort Valley as Brinson comes back in for the Wildcats. Holly will be the one that sits down. They will also sub in for the first time to Ariel Franklin, a junior from Gadsden, Alabama. As Cornelius sits down, so Fort Valley is going to go small now. Brinson at 6'6", the largest one on the floor. Franklin at 6'5", so CSU with a height advantage now. Kirkland trying to take advantage of it, missed his attempt. Too strong. So Fort Valley going mostly guards now. Spear, a 3 in front of the CSU bench, rattles at home. Derek Spear with 5. He had 24 on Saturday against Georgia Southwestern. Rather, against Georgia College. A game they lost in overtime. The game in which Fort Valley actually had a huge lead in, looking for their first win of the season, and ended up giving up every bit of that lead, going to overtime and falling 76-68. Battle puts it on the floor, the fall away. Kirkland taps it to himself, and he's fouled in traffic. So now CSU flipping the tables with the height advantage. It was Fort Valley that had the big edge in that department. CSU, though, with the edge, they grab the offensive board, draw the foul, and it takes us to another media timeout. 27-18, 7:58 to play here on Cougar Sports TV. Columbus State still hot from the field. They've made 12 of their first 18. They've hit their only shot from beyond the arc. They're getting beat on the glass, though, 11-8 at the moment. But they do have 11 points off of 7 Fort Valley turnovers. CSU had lined up like it was going to the foul line, but it was just the 6th foul against Fort Valley. So the next one will put the Cougars in the bonus. 9-point game. CSU leading 27-18. Dixon will try again along 2. He's missed his second from that distance, and Battle the last one to touch it. CSU off the dead ball will again go to that full court press. Hemmed up in the backcourt, they nearly had the steal, and instead Fort Valley will try to get a run out with it. Good look underneath, and Battle put the shot on the backboard. Dixon gets the second one, and CSU's running the other way. Kirkland off to Funderburk for the lay-in. Battle and Dixon with a pair of blocks, taking away easy ones, and it turns into an easy 2 on the opposite end. Spear will try another 3 off the front rim. Harris, the outlet, looking for Dixon, and he'll lay it in from Funderburk. And again, Sammy Jackson not happy with his Wildcats, and CSU has stretched it out to 13, under 7 minutes to go. Brinson the tough catch and a good finish. Brinson with 13, trying to single-handedly keep the Wildcats in this. He has 13 of their 20. Kenny Funderburk, the game leader, he has 14 in this first half, nearly to his season average. CSU slowing it down now. Shot clock to 11. Kirkland from 18. Such a pure stroke from a pair of these CSU big men. Kirkland and Dixon, both of them the ability to stretch out 15, 18 feet. Rebound tapped around. Harris has it. Trying to go backdoor. That hit the leg of a Fort Valley player and on its way out, so CSU will keep it. Dimitri Davis subbing back in. Kirkland sits. Laughlin and Cornelius along with Holly return for Fort Valley. They stay out there with Brinson. Brinson will sit. Spear stays out there, as does J.R. Bryant, the freshman from Macon. 33-20 matches the largest lead of the night for CSU. 6 minutes to go in this first half. Battle from the opposite corner, and B.J. Battle to double figures now. B.J. with 10, and CSU has hit its only 2 from long distance tonight, both of them from Battle. CSU playing very clean basketball tonight, just 3 turnovers. They've hit 16 of their 23 shots from the field. Bryant off to Holly, and Holly lost it on the way up, but a foul was to blame. Foul is on Dimitri Davis. That's his second. So to send Montreal Holly to the line to shoot 2, and as he does, Sammy Jackson holding a huddle of his own, pulling everybody from around the rim, so no rebounders for Fort Valley State. As Sammy Jackson using this as a chance to get a timeout without having to take one. So they will sacrifice this rebound for a free huddle. Will Howard, the Columbus native, into the game for the first time as Holly misses the pair. Easiest rebound of Dimitri Davis's career. CSU a chance to add on to what is a 16-point game. 36-20, 5:20 to go. Battle just inside the line, and CSU having all kinds of success in that 15 to 19 foot range just inside the line. Battle with 12. CSU 17 of 24 now from the field. Cornelius off to Bryant, a left wing 3, too strong. CSU a chance to make this a 20-point game on this possession. Harris dumps it off. Davis will do so with the left hand. And CSU doubling up Fort Valley State 40-20. This is as good as CSU has looked offensively in quite some time. Spear, they're going to wave off the shot. Say the foul was on the floor against Dimitri Davis, who just picked up foul number 3 in this first half. So he will for sure have to come out. Malik Wood, the freshman from Decatur, Georgia, coming in for his first action tonight. Early playing time for Malik. Dimitri Davis sits with 3 fouls, as it's Derek Spear at the line for the 1-and-1 on team foul number 9, and he misses and can't stop the bleeding. Spear, though, gets it right back. And they're going to let Spear take the timeout. So Spear, after missing the free throw, does go get the steal and gets the timeout called to keep possession back for Fort Valley State. 40-20, though, where we stand right now, is CSU playing very, very well in this one. They don't have Shane Hayward tonight, and despite not having him in the lineup, the offense and defense doing a good job. Fort Valley just 7 of 23 from the field, 3 of 7 from downtown. They've shot it well from beyond the arc, but they haven't done a whole lot else very good so far at this point. 30% from the field for Fort Valley State. CSU shooting a nice crisp 72% from the field here in this first half. That will win you a lot of games. And CSU, despite being outsized in the middle, owns a 16-8 edge on points in the paint. Bryant, the dish for Spear in traffic. The shot doesn't go as Keaton trying to draw the charge. Keaton, Funderburk, Wood, Kirkland, and Howard out of the timeout for CSU. Keaton trying to go to the rim, had it poked away, and CSU will keep it. Laughlin, Bryant, Spear, Brinson, and Broner out there as they again go with 5 smaller players for Fort Valley. So CSU back in the height advantage now with the current configuration on the court. Kirkland has to save that one inbounds. And CSU is going to head to the foul line as they're going to say Desmond Laughlin had a hold of Malik Wood's jersey. So a mad scramble there sends the two teams sprawling for the ball. A loose ball foul will send Malik Wood to the line with 3:57 to go. I believe we'll head to the final media timeout of the half, and they will. 3:57 to go. Final media of half number 1. CSU doubling up Fort Valley State, 40-20. Cougars on top. Malik Wood at the line for Columbus State. He'll shoot the 1-and-1 after the timeout. Wood with just 5 points so far in his Columbus State career. He's 3 of 4 from the foul line, though. Make it 3 of 5 as he can't get that one to go. Kirkland with the follow and one. Sammy Jackson had just checked Ralph Wilson, the 7-foot center, into the game. But they give up an offensive rebound, and Wilson commits the foul to add a little salt to the wound. Kirkland with 8 already, trying to make it 9. But he leaves the free throw short. 42-20. It's a 22-point game now. Fort Valley State has not scored since the 6:55 mark. That made it 31-20. CSU scored 11 unanswered over the last 3 and change. Nearing 3.5 to go. This is Bryant, the shot clock at 7. He's tied up, but they're going to say Wood reached in. So that will be double bonus time here for Fort Valley State. Bailing out the Wildcats did Columbus State with that foul. So J.R. Bryant, the freshman, will head to the line. Playing about 14 minutes a game so far in his first season of collegiate basketball. Gets his first point of the night. Wilson gets the rebound. The follow doesn't go. A tip doesn't go. They'll get a third look at it. Spear can't get it down. Brinson finally does on try number 4. So there they are all over the glass. Not helping the shooting percentage much, but helping the rebounding numbers. So first points for Fort Valley in nearly 4 minutes. Howard short on a three. Under 3 to go in the first half. CSU looking for its third straight win. Bryant baseline, short. Kirkland grabs another board. Kirkland's going to go all by himself to the rim. It doesn't go down. And it was last touched by Brinson, who's asking for a foul call there on the baseline from the official right there in front of him. D'Angelo trying to do a little too much that time in transition, but CSU will keep it. Chad Pressey into the game for the first time for Fort Valley. He subs in as once again Fort Valley goes small. BJ Battle back out there for the Cougars. Funderburk drops it off for Wood, who lost it on his way to the rim. Broner stepped in and got a hand on it. They'll swing it around. Broner drives past Dixon baseline. The shot fell off. Broner gets his own miss though. Again he misses. Then the dead ball rebound belongs to CSU. So the number's not getting any better for Fort Valley now. 8 of 29 from the field as they've missed a lot of easy ones to go with CSU playing some good defense. 42-23, Funderburk, who already has 14, lost it. Able to regain control. Keaton with 13. Took one too many steps before he could dump it off, and Chevy Keaton turns it over. Has not been quite as effective tonight as he was on Saturday on his way to a career-high 11 assists. Really sparked this Cougar offense off the bench. Got out in transition as a long three is even longer from Bryant. Good look that time, and Dixon will finish it off. That's what we saw on Saturday. Keaton very, very good in transition, leaving it off and setting it up for everybody else. And Keaton does a great job there to set up Dixon. Did it with the bounce pass as well. Dixon has 6. Spear, the pump fake, and the three, the step back for Derek Spear, who is at his average. He has 8. Brings it back inside 20. Under a minute to go. Funderburk driving left to the rim. Doesn't get the friendly roll. Wood trying to clean it up, and he'll head back to the line. Malik Wood in traffic that time, just reaching up and taking it away from everybody. Draws the foul on Pressey, his first, and Wood back to the line where he's 0 for 1 tonight. Wood graduated from Arabia Mountain High School in Lithonia, Georgia. Averaged 11 points, 8 rebounds last year as a senior. Getting a little bit of run here in this first half. Very, very athletic, but still a little raw talent-wise and ability. Misses both free throws, so he's 0 for 3 from the line tonight. Stays an 18-point game, and the shot clock and game clock only about a second different. So Fort Valley State can essentially hold for the final shot should they choose. CSU will lead comfortably as they go to the locker room at halftime, but the job will only be halfway done. Game clock down under 10 now. Spear going to work and a blocking foul coming up against Malik Wood, and Robert Moore doesn't like the call right there in front of him. So Malik Wood now with 2 fouls. Brent Jackson has 2. Dimitri Davis has 3. So Derek Spear with Fort Valley in the double bonus to the line for 2, and they continue to struggle from the foul line. 4 of 11 now are the Wildcats from the stripe. They're not shooting it well from the field. They're not shooting it well from the line. 4 of 12. Final 5 seconds now. CSU looking for one more basket. Funderburk, coast to coast, drops it off for Dixon. The slam goes. They will count it. And CSU takes a 20-point lead into the locker room at the break. An emphatic finish to the first half for the Cougars as Funderburk goes coast to coast, finds Dixon for the slam. The senior has 8, and the Cougars have a 20-point lead as they go to the locker room at halftime. 46-26, CSU in front. Kenny Funderburk leading the way for the Cougars with 14. BJ Battle has 12. Tim Dixon and D'Angelo Kirkland with 8 apiece. Dimitri Davis with 4. And that is it. Only 5 Cougars have scored, despite the fact that CSU has 46 points in this first half. Tyrone Brinson leading the way for Fort Valley State, even though they only have 4 scorers that have put any points on the board. He has 15. He's the game leader at this point. 8 for Derek Spear, and then it's 2 for Cornelius, 1 for Bryant. So Spear and Brinson have combined for 23 of the 26 Fort Valley State points. Not getting much help from anybody else, and CSU rolling through the first 20 minutes. 46-26, Cougars lead. We take the halftime break with them. We rejoin you in just a few minutes with some of your first half stats and your second half here from the Lumpkin Center in Columbus, Georgia. 46-26, Columbus State leads here on Cougar Sports TV. 46-26, where we stand after the halftime break here on Cougar Sports TV. Stephen Williams here with you. Inside the Lumpkin Center on the campus of Columbus State University, the Cougars trying to make it 6-1 with a third straight victory, and they're halfway home with a 20-point edge, 46-26 over Fort Valley State here on this Monday night. CSU shooting the lights out in that first half. They actually cooled off to the tune of 66%. They were shooting upwards of over 70 during that first half late, but cooled off down the stretch. They took just 3 shots from beyond the arc, so a good job of being patient and taking the shots that were coming in the flow of the offense. They made 2 of them from downtown. The free throw shooting is one of those that you'll shake your head out from both sides. Just 2 of 8 for CSU, 4 of 12 on the other side. The two teams are combined 6 of 20 from the foul line tonight. That's not a good percentage from the three-point line, much less the line that they call supposedly free. Fort Valley State shooting just 29% in that first half. They did do good work, though, on the glass. CSU ultimately out-rebounded them in the first half, but Fort Valley did grab 10 offensive rebounds. Stephen Williams here with you on Cougar Sports TV, alongside sports information assistant Will DeBoer, who's here with us for the second half. And so far, really couldn't ask for much more from the way Columbus State's played through 20 minutes.
Oh, absolutely, Stephen. 46 points in the first half. They're well on their way to breaking their season high, 96, which they got against Coastal Georgia about 5 days ago. And it's been all about the guards again. Kenny Funderburk, BJ Battle taking control. They got 14 apiece in that first half, and they could be on their way to career highs if they are allowed to stay off the leash in the second half.
46-26, it'll be Fort Valley in the road blue uniforms, working right to left as you're looking at it, starting with the opening possession. CSU stretched it out about midway through that first half. It was a close game at the under-12 media as Cornelius comes in and knocks down the first basket. But CSU put together an extended run and pulled away as Kenny Funderburk has it bounce around a couple of times and off.
He had one of those go in the first half, this time not as lucky.
Brinson wasn't looking for it. It hits him in the head. A run out for BJ Battle and a one-handed finish. Battle with 14 now. Ties Funderburk for the team lead. Brinson leads all scorers. He has 15. Dixon got a hand on it. Battle tries to save it back near midcourt. They won't reset the shot clock. Laughlin puts it on the floor, sets up Brinson. And Brinson with a very pure stroke, that left-handed stroke from the right wing.
Fort Valley's found their scorer tonight. They came into this one with nobody averaging double figures, and Tyrone Brinson already up to 18 points. That'll go up.
Brinson in a gym he's familiar with as Funderburk short rims a 3. Remember, Brinson practiced with this CSU team all of last year, so this is a gym I watched him personally stay in here for a while and take a lot of shots, so it's familiar territory for him. Derek Spear, their second leading scorer, former Cougar, familiar territory for him as well. This is Holly underneath trying to post up on Dixon. They're going to say foul on the floor, so no shot. Dixon picks up the foul. That's his second.
Key for Tim Dixon to stay out of foul trouble in this game with Shane Hayward not playing. If he gets into trouble, then it's young Malik Wood who's got to get a bunch of minutes.
Another Fort Valley turnover, and they will stop a run out. I'm not sure if it was on purpose, but it turns out to be a fortunate stop as Derek Spear picks up the foul. It's his second. It stopped Kenny Funderburk from slamming one home on the run out. Columbus State trying to put together its second 3-game winning streak of the season. Sandwiched around its only loss before they get to conference play on Saturday. Armstrong coming in here. Then they will hit a tough Eastern road trip the final week of the regular season before Christmas as they will head to USC Aiken and UNC Pembroke.
Well, that Eastern Division in the PBC has really established itself as the cream of the crop this year. Lander's undefeated. Pembroke, its only loss came to Lander. GRU Augusta you can't count out. You know, you don't exaggerate, Steve, when you say tough Eastern road trip coming up.
Kirkland, the slam, puts him in double figures. He now has 10. Into the corner, Brinson, another clean look, and he rattles it home. And Sammy Jackson will take the timeout with it. So Tyrone Brinson single-handedly trying to keep his troops in this ball game. He has 21 now, a couple of threes here in the second half. He has 4 from downtown in the game, and it's back to a 16-point margin. So Robert Moore's crew, they've had a propensity at times the last couple of seasons to fall into that lull somewhere during the game after picking up a double-digit lead, and it's something they'll have to avoid here with a Fort Valley team that, despite struggles, can still be explosive.
Stephen, we've seen that the last 2 home bouts at Lumpkin Center. Coastal Georgia got back into it earlier in the second half. Carver College stuck around towards the end of the first half before CSU was able to put on some distance.
Cougars have led pretty much throughout this thing, and they've just extended it throughout. It had a 20-point lead at halftime, did Columbus State. Now it's down to 16 behind Brinson's early shooting as CSU continues to cool off just a little bit from the field. Fort Valley heating up. The one place they've been good so far tonight is from beyond the arc. 6 of 11 for Fort Valley State, and all 6 of those belonging to the combo in the backcourt of Brinson and Spear. Nobody else has more than 4 points between those two.
It's both the Columbus guys stepping up in their old home gym. If it was last year's rosters, Fort Valley would be down 60 or so.
Fort Valley replacing a ton of players on this year's bunch. A lot of good seniors last year that no longer have eligibility, as Wilson really for the first time utilizing that 7-foot size he has, and really the signifying the night that Fort Valley's had right there as the pass on the outlet to Laughlin. His heel was on the baseline.
Boy, Wilson, that is a mountain of a man right there. I feel like I'm in Game of Thrones.
Funderburk takes the inbounds, gets it right back, and he knocks down the long 2, as Funderburk has been very good from the field tonight. Kenny with 16. And now an illegal screen will send it the other way, and I think Funderburk baited Wilson into that one.
One of the drawbacks to being a big man in this game is that when there's contact, the officials have a tendency to blame you even if you haven't done anything wrong.
Funderburk had a couple of words for Wilson after he made the jumper on one end, so Wilson, wanting to exert his dominance a little bit, was too physical on the screen, put a little extra oomph behind it. Dixon steps back for 3. Not exactly the shot you'd like him to take, but he took it wide open. Just his second of the year, and he's missed them both.
He's been playing more towards the perimeter than you'd expect a 6'10 guy to play. Had a steal there earlier in the second half, or first half rather.
Derek Spear put it on the floor, picks up the foul against B.J. Battle, just his first. Fouls mounted on the Cougars in the first half, but they did a good job of spreading them around. Dimitri Davis, the only one that enters the half in any kind of trouble. He picked up 3, a couple of them in a span of about 60 seconds there late in the first half. So Derek Spear, the senior from Atlanta, former Cougar, at the line, and that's a rare sight. A free throw going through in this contest.
Is that 7 for 21 now between the two?
7 for 21. Make it 8 for 22 as Spear joins his running mate in the backcourt in double figures.
I mean, that's a heck of a batting average, but free throws, come on now.
Battle for 3. A little strong. Gets his own miss, though. Long shot, long rebound. Drops it off for Kirkland amongst 3 players, and Wilson blocked it off the bottom of the backboard. Wilson didn't even have to leave the floor, and at 7 feet tall, you just punch that one out of there. Ty Harris didn't get a ton of minutes in that first half. They'll get a clean look for Funderburk. Not known for his outside shooting, but he has his first of the night, and Kenny now with 19.
He had a good day from beyond the arc against Carver. I guess he's keeping the hot streak alive tonight.
Kenny with 20 in 3 games this season, including both games last week, on his way to another 20-point night tonight. They throw it over the top, trying to get it to Wilson, and it goes right into the hands of a white jersey. Harris, the pull-up 3. He knocks it down. Ty Harris makes it 2 in a row from downtown, and that's another person not known for his outside shooting, but Ty's 4 of 8 for the year now.
All these Columbus State guards are very good shooters from two-point range. You would figure that with just a little more practice, they could really step it up from three, and especially from the free throw line.
And now another illegal screen coming up on Ralph Wilson. That'll be his third. And so he'll be the first Fort Valley Wildcat to 3 fouls. And we hit the media timeout at a good time for Fort Valley. The game starting to slide away as the Cougars knock down back-to-back from outside. 15:40 to go here on Cougar Sports TV. CSU leading at 58-36. (58-36) Cougars lead here on Cougar Sports TV. Columbus State with its first two from downtown here in the second half has stretched it from 16 right back out to 22, and they'll have the basketball to try to extend it even more. Funderburk, the pump fake, a good look underneath, found Kirkland in a tight window.
Oh, that was pretty. Can't draw it up any better than that.
So CSU out to a 24-point margin now as Fort Valley has made several subs underneath. The shot doesn't go for Montrell Holly, but on the turnaround, he draws the foul on Dixon and will get a pair of free throws.
That's number 3 on Dixon. Wouldn't be surprised to see him take a seat right now.
Nobody up off the bench for Robert Moore just yet. Montrell Holly, not what you would call a great free throw shooter. 2 of 6 coming into tonight. He's missed all 3 that he's taken. We will not be setting any free throw records, at least in the good direction, at any time tonight. Although you could have guessed that coming in with 2 teams that shoot below 63% each. Holly splits the pair. It's a 23-point game as we go 5 minutes into this second half. Brent Jackson in after a rough first half for him and way too strong on that 3. Funderburk goes right into Montrell Holly, challenging the timber underneath, and he'll go to the line.
Kenny's career high in points is 26. He's 7 from that tonight. Has a chance to get within 5 with these 2 free throws.
He had 11 20-point games 1 year ago. He's likely to make it his 4th, as he does with the first free throw, his 4th of this season. 3rd straight night with 20 points for Funderburk, who scored at least 10 in every game this season. His lowest output was just 10, and that was in the loss at St. Leo.
Everyone was down that night for CSU, not just Kenny.
Laughlin, they try to drop it underneath, and guess who? It's Funderburk in the passing lane. He'll weave his way through traffic before they'll slow it up and settle it down with a 25-point edge. Funderburk, another look, finds Kirkland, but it rattled out. Fort Valley not a prolific scoring team, as you can see, as Funderburk picks the pocket of Brinson. He's got Dixon running alongside, and Dixon has Laughlin step in his way before he could get to the rim to finish. A big collision will send Dixon to the line.
Lucky break for Tim Dixon that defender didn't get his feet set. That would have been number 4 against Timmy.
Instead, it's the third on Desmond Laughlin and Tim Dixon to the line, where he hasn't been very often. 6 of 7 coming into tonight from the line and gets the friendly Lumpkin center roll.
A rare big man who can shoot the free throws.
Dixon a chance to get in double figures for the second consecutive game. He had just 12 points through his first 4 contests in a CSU uniform. Since then, he's had 8, 10, and he has 9 already here. So playing better minutes in the last 3 contests as he's in double figures for the second straight game.
He keeps building by 2 every game. He'll be averaging 40 by the end of the year.
4 Cougars in double figures, even though only 6 of them have scored at all. 3-pointer over the top of Kirkland doesn't go down that time for D'Ariel Franklin. They'll get a second look, and that one misses everything short, and CSU with a 3-on-1 run out. Jackson leading the way, off to Kirkland, a little too much mustard on it, but Kirkland with the nice hands makes the catch and the basket.
Kirkland likes the mustard on it.
14 now for D'Angelo Kirkland. There's a foul from behind. Ty Harris reaching in, picks up his second. 4 fouls against Columbus State as Robert Moore will go mass substitution here. 4 new ones as Brent Jackson stays. The other 4 starters come off the floor for CSU. Will Howard, Chevy Keaton, Malik Wood, and Dimitri Davis out there in white for the Cougars. Montrell Holly will sit down. Cornelius back in for Fort Valley. Laughlin will head right to the line off the inbounds. They squeeze the pass in, and Malik Wood draws the foul.
Coach Moore wanting to get a look at his second team with a 30-point lead. They've had significant minutes over the past couple days. Carver, a bunch of them played against Coastal Georgia, trying to get that bench warmed up in time for the PBC season.
You never know when you're going to have to use them.
A night like tonight when your starting center is out and a third stringer in Malik Wood has to come in and get significant minutes. Well, he's getting them tonight.
Laughlin splits the pair. It's been about what you would expect at the line right now as they will get J.R. Bryant into the lineup, get Laughlin out of there with his 3 fouls. It was the first point for the senior there at the foul line. Keaton to run the offense now. Howard and Jackson, the pair of shooters, and they're a little smaller inside now. Howard, a long 3. Doesn't go, and Jackson just about who brought the house down with the tip jam.
Steven, that was just a pass to Chevy. He just did it theatrically.
Howard to get another look. Rolls out, so a couple of misses for Howard on the possession. Bryant will try a 3, and Fort Valley getting cold from beyond the arc after they hit a couple from Brinson early in the half. CSU, a lot of changing positions on the floor right now with the skip passes. Shot clock down to 15, 12 and a half to go. Keaton, the high teardrop, not there. Wood on the tap.
Malik Wood hasn't been on the scoreboard very much this season, but he gets a nice tip in there. He's been playing above the rim whenever he's gotten those points.
Malik Wood now 2 of 3 from the field for the year. Wood in a fierce battle with Cornelius, defending underneath, denies the basketball. Re-roll under 12 to go. Shot clock nearing 10. Bryant up top. The pick and roll is a steal. Davis comes away with it, nearly lost it across midcourt. Regains control, though. Back to a 30-point edge.
And Chevy's going to slow it down a little bit, milk some of that clock with a 30-point lead and half of the half to go.
They'll set up Howard again right in front of his teammates. Doesn't go. Jackson again trying to tip jam at home. Lost it, but Dimitri Davis with the follow.
And the third time's the charm for the Cougars that time.
Brent Jackson's going to get one at some point, and he's going to erupt this place. High-flying athlete. 32 now as they've eclipsed that 30-point mark. Broner's three, not there. Run down in the corner. Nice job by DeMario Black. Kept it alive and earns a fresh 35. Broner will try again, and again, not anywhere near it. Black, right spot, right time, an easy two.
Nice awareness by DeMario Black. He saw the lane and took it.
Sometimes bad shots can work out for the better. Rebounder not in the right position for a bad shot. They're in position for a good one. Jackson to the rim. The left-handed lay-in doesn't go. A run out the other way. Jackson nearly getting the steal and instead picks up the loose ball foul. You can't fault Jackson for how hard he plays. Sometimes, though, it works negatively.
Unrestrained that time. Picks up the foul. And he just hasn't been able to get the limbs under control on some of that above-the-rim play. But once he does, like you said, Stephen, it's going to bring the house down.
10:20 to go. Cougars well on their way to what would be a 6th victory for them. And Peach Belt Conference action coming up on Saturday. 70-40, they lead Fort Valley State. Stephen Williams, Will DeBoer back here with you, courtside inside the Lumpkin Center. Cougar Sports TV, your home for Columbus State Athletics. Fort Valley out of the timeout, going back with the big lineup. Holly and Wilson, 7 foot, 6'11", in the middle now for the Wildcats. Laughlin back out there to run the show up top. They're out there along with Broner and Black.
That height right there is why they're only being out-rebounded by 2. 31-29 coming into this one.
Holly threw down the jam, but the foul was called well before he threw down the jam, and that will draw the ire of the crowd just a little bit. Malik Wood picks up foul number 4.
Both the CSU big men getting into foul trouble. Dixon with 3, Wood with 4 in limited action. So now D'Angelo Kirkland's going to have to play that 5 role, something he's not used to playing.
Kirkland will come in. They'll let Wood sit down. 10:09 to go. Holly to the line for the 1-and-1. And again, Holly, who arcs it extremely high for a guy his size, can't knock down the free one.
Usually guys that big just throw darts like Shaquille O'Neal did.
A skip pass intercepted. Black took it away before they could find Howard on the wing. Davis nearly got it back after his own turnover. Instead, the Wildcats will get it down to Wilson, who gets the friendly roll. Ralph Wilson with his first 2.
When you're that big and the shot is that close, it's basically you're just reaching up on the shelf, getting some soup cans.
Underneath, a good look from Chevy Keaton. Dimitri Davis now with 8.
Dimitri doesn't look like he's the sort of guy who should be able to move very nimbly, but he does better than you'd expect.
Holly has his dunk attempt blocked, but they're going to say Kirkland caught a little bit of arm, as Holly by himself now is going to bring a little life into this building in a 30-point game. By the way, he's trying to slam it home.
I'll tell you, Stephen, dunks like that make that shot clock look awfully precarious on that platform. I would not want to be standing under there when he slams it.
Holly back to the line, and that one touches nothing but the net. Holly with just 2. He's 6'11", a senior out of Montgomery, Alabama. About 90 minutes down the road from here. Off to the west. Holly getting the pair to go. So back inside 30 as we near the 9-minute mark.
Chevy's smiling. He's ready to go all the way.
Into the corner. They keep trying to set up Howard's shot. He's gotten a couple off, hasn't made one just yet, though. This zone that Fort Valley State is in will give you those opportunities as Wilson crashes into D'Angelo Kirkland on an 18-foot jump shot, and it'll send Kirkland to the line.
D'Angelo coming up a bit lame on that last collision with the floor. Adjusting his knee braces, and he appears to be all right.
Rattled with the big 7-footer, who's probably pushing every bit of 300 pounds, run him over.
He turns anyone into a rattle.
D'Angelo Kirkland to the line. Kirkland again, another good night. The senior out of Pensacola, Florida. 15 points. Give him 16 now. 8 in each half for D'Angelo Kirkland, who's in double figures for the 6th time in 7 games this year. Only the 3-point win over Elizabeth City State did he not hit the double-digit mark as we get a foul away from the ball, offensive.
D'Angelo's got a little work to do if he wants to pick up another double-double, stuck on 6 rebounds. He's got just under 9 minutes to get it, but I would expect he wouldn't see quite as much playing time down the stretch with a 30-point cushion.
Ja'Cory Payne into the game for the first time, the freshman from Dublin, Georgia, and he'll be tasked with running this offense for the majority of this one, I would assume, as Dimitri Davis turns it over. The fortunate roll on the loose ball finds Wilson, and Wilson lays it in. Not the way they drew it up, but it works. Howard's 3 rattles out again.
He's just going to keep shooting and shooting until one falls down.
That's what they brought him here for. They didn't bring him here to make layups. They didn't bring him to rebound, although he just got one.
That was just his second all season.
They brought him here to shoot threes and make them. 28-point game again, under 8 minutes to go now. CSU priming up for Armstrong State University to come in here on Saturday to start Peach Belt Conference play. Ball tapped away, immediate timeout upon us. 7:50 to go. 74-46, Columbus State cruising here on Cougar Sports TV. (74-46), CSU on its way to a 6-1 mark in the non-conference portion of the schedule, and Robert Moore really could not have hoped or asked for much more coming into this season. A 6-1 mark with a couple of relatively tough games in that non-conference portion. Kirkland lost it and gets it right back, and then has it swatted away from him, but he's back to the line.
Quick word, Stephen, about Ja'Cory Payne. That last knock out of bounds that caused the media timeout, if he's still in high school, the opposing player doesn't get to that pass he was trying to aim for Davis. Coach Moore talking about how he's still trying to adjust to the college level of the game. As Kirkland makes his first free throw. It's tough to learn when you're the third stringer behind Keaton and Ty Harris, but hopefully Jacory can work out a few of his kinks tonight with 7 minutes to go in a 30-point game against Fort Valley.
Tough for Jacory to crack the rotation at the moment. Remember, this is a very, very, very veteran CSU bunch. 9 seniors. Brent Jackson, the junior, getting some playing time as well. After that, that's really it. It's 9 seniors and a junior that get most of the playing time for this CSU team. So it leaves really no spot for Jacory Payne, who's stuck in the backcourt at the moment.
It really is a do-or-die season for CSU, isn't it?
Kirkland, a 2-for-1 there. Got the rebound and the basket. Give him 20. 9 seniors, they will have to reset next year of some sort, similarly to what USC Aiken just had to do this year.
Similarly to what Fort Valley State's had to do this year, too, graduating 9 seniors last year. As
Jamal Garr gets the 3 to go down. Just checked into the game for Sammy Jackson, the freshman from Conyers. Jump ball there, tied up on Kirkland's drive. CSU will keep it. USC Aiken last year, the team that went on to win the Peach Belt Conference Tournament on this floor, defeating Montevallo. Went on and won the Southeast region, got all the way to the Final Four before they were eliminated from the NCAA tournament. They replaced a large number of seniors as well. And they are finding the road to be a little bit tough when you have to replace that many guys. Payne doesn't get it to go. Marcus Boyd, who just checked in, had it for a moment and lost it out of bounds. Aiken, to this point, just 4-4 on the year, and that's not something that is very common for Vince Alexander's bunch there in South Carolina.
and their prospects aren't looking great in that PBC East with Lander, GRU, Augusta, Pembroke. Francis Marion has just 1 loss. Flagler has just 1 loss.
Garr rattles another one home from downtown.
They'd probably find it easier to adjust if they were playing in the West, where meanwhile CSU with just 1 loss in non-conference play may have a shot at the top 2, top 3 of that division and a run into the PBC tournament.
Clayton State and North Georgia also with just 1 loss so far in non-conference play. And Georgia College, Georgia Southwestern with 2 apiece. And surprisingly, as Jacory Payne gets his first 2, Young Harris and Montevallo, 2 of the teams that have been near the top of the Western Division the last couple of years, the ones that have struggled the most in non-conference play.
But that's a situation where it could just be a sleeping giant type deal, where they're just trying to work the bugs out in the non-conference play, and when PBC season starts and they start seeing more familiar opponents, wake up, look out.
Well, Montevallo is heating up. They were 2-5 at one point, had a couple of wins last week. Teran Brown, their star player and the favorite coming into the season for Peach Belt Conference Player of the Year. Easy favorite for that spot. Missed 4 games. Story goes that down in Puerto Rico they were playing a game, and of course a less than stellar Jim went to stop himself from running into a wall going out of bounds and shoved his hand through a window. Cut his hand and his arm, gashed it open, missed 4 games, so that obviously had some doing on it.
Puerto Rico, my heart's devotion, may she sink into the ocean.
Scramble for that ball on the floor, and I believe they're going to have a tie-up. And the jump ball this time favors the Wildcats. 26-point game, this one really not in doubt with 5.5 minutes to go, and that's generally when this type of game gets a little bit on edge for a moment. It's been a game that's been dominated by one side. You got a frustrated other side that hasn't won a game this year.
And they're not looking to come back in this one either, Stephen. CSU's taken their starters out. Fort Valley's got their starters out. So it's the second teams all around in Lumpkin Center for the last 5 minutes.
Malik Wood, a good defensive play there. Boyd steps into the 3 and didn't get it. Malik Wood just fouled out. Malik Wood fighting for that loose ball. Commits his 5th and final foul with 4:58 to go. So Wood will foul out with just 2 points on the night. That'll force Tim Dixon to come back in. So Dixon hasn't been out there, I don't believe, since he picked up his 3rd foul.
I mean, that was
10 minutes ago, game-wise.
a bit cold. Now he'll have to heat up in garbage time. This will give him another chance to, well, he's got 10 points tonight. He makes one more basket. He sets a new career high at CSU at least.
Demario Black, the one at the foul line, just 2 points tonight so far for the guard out of Warner Robins.
Now he'll pick up one. He'll see his average go up a tick after this one. Came in 1.8 points per game.
Douglas Turner, a senior from Stone Mountain, into the game for the first time as Brent Jackson tries to go to the other end, and he is fouled on his way to the rim. Ralph Wilson committing the foul, and he is done.
And he's drawing the ire of the CSU crowd as they see him walk to the bench.
So Ralph Wilson will sit down, and in his place, they will bring in Chad Pressey. He saw late action in that first half. Junior from Riverdale, Georgia, as Brent Jackson now into the scoring column at the foul line.
And now Tim Dixon just looks so much bigger now that the two big boys in blue are sitting down.
Will Howard, Marcus Boyd, Chevy Keaton, the only 3 Cougars that have not scored tonight. Keaton's night is likely done. The other 2 are still an opportunity for them. A long 3, and Garer has come off the bench and has been very, very good. Give him 3 threes and a couple of free throws. He has 11.
Well, Fort Valley is a team that lives by a 3 and dies by a 3. Tonight, that's kept them within 30. Without those 3-pointers, it could be much, much worse on the scoreboard than it is right now.
They've made 9 tonight. They haven't really been living from there at any point this season. They've made no more than 3 all season from beyond the arc. They've been dying a lot from outside. Tonight, though, 9 makes in 19 attempts. Foul goes on Douglas Turner. That's his first. 10 fouls on each side at least here in the second half, so double bonus time. It'll be Marcus Boyd with the chance to get into the scoring column, the redshirt freshman out of Lumpkin, Georgia, so it's only fitting that he's playing in the Lumpkin Center.
Settle in, Stephen. 10 fouls each side. It's time for free throw practice for the last 4 minutes.
Boyd has 4 career points. He's 0 for 2 from the free throw line now for the year. Make him 0 for 3, so the free throw woes have not gotten a ton better, although CSU's been much better in this half than they were in the first. The runner doesn't go. Dixon all alone for the rebound. Pass to the corner, intercepted, headed the other way. This is Broner, the spin, the teardrop, and Dixon will just tap that rebound to himself. Tim Dixon will have a field day on the boards here for a few minutes. Davis, the reverse, too strong. So I would venture to say we're not in for the prettiest last 4 minutes. Turner's 3 goes down. The bench players coming in and are knocking everything down from beyond the arc.
And he's getting cheers from the sideline there. Fort Valley down 20, but still supporting their teammates out there, the ones who don't usually see playing action.
Turner had only made 1 basket all year. It was a 3, and now he's got his second. 3:13 to go, our final media timeout of the night. CSU holding an 82 edge. Fort Valley State here. Stephen Williams, Will DeBoer here with you on Cougar Sports TV. 82-61, CSU with the 21-point edge, and now they're just going to let them play for a little while. 3 minutes to go here in the Lumpkin Center as Turner to the rim, and the shot is blocked, and I think they're going to call goaltending on Brent Jackson, and it'll be a foul, so Turner gets the and one.
Turner awfully fired up after that last one. Little extra contact. Brent Jackson falling all over the place, and he ran over the little guy.
So Turner to the line. Turner and Garer have been very good here in mop-up duty off the bench for the Wildcats. They've combined for 17. You don't know if the results would have been similar early, but they could have used that scoring earlier. So 18-point game. It's as close as it's been in a long time. CSU had it up over 30 for a long time in this half. Shot clock down to 10. Boyd off the screen.
There's that run we're used to seeing, Stephen. It's just coming when it's a 30-point cushion instead of 10.
And blocked at the rim was Pressey. He thought he got it clean, but instead Dimitri Davis will shoot a pair. Actually, they're going to say Garer picked up the foul, so Pressey's block was clean. This run is happening, but it is a little different from the usual because it's not the usual suspects on the floor. At this point, CSU's pulled most of those guys that get most of the run. Davis short rims, a couple of them. Brent Jackson, the rebound, follow, and one.
There you go, Brent. He's been wanting to lay up like that all night, and he finally gets it.
Second time that's happened tonight where CSU has missed at the foul line, gotten its own miss, and gotten an and one off of it.
It's just as good as a pass, really.
Foul on Pressey is his second. Jackson hits off the front rim again, so the free throw exhibition continues. Turner again from downtown. He's got another one. What is going on right now off this Fort Valley bench?
I think they're finding themselves some pieces for the future.
Dimitri Davis will bring them to life here with a big two-handed flush.
And that ought to stop the bleeding. It certainly gets the crowd back into this one.
The runner doesn't go. Crashing to the deck is Bryant, and he'll head to the line. 2:01 sitting on the clock, 86-67, CSU by 19. Fort Valley State now 11 of 21 from the three-point line tonight. And again, this is a team that had not made more than 3 three-pointers in a game all year. They have 11 tonight, and 5 of them here with a couple of players off the bench. Turner came into the night with just 3 points all year. Garer had 5. They now have 20 between them, and Garer fights for that loose ball and earns another possession.
Wildcats been desperate to find their scorers in this rebuilding year. Maybe it's just because they're playing the second team of CSU. If I'm Coach Jackson, I'm excited to see what they can do next time against real competition.
And it is raining threes right now here in the Lumpkin Center, at least on this end for Fort Valley, and a foul away from the ball. As Fort Valley State don't look now, they're within 15.
I've seen Syracuse lose a 10-point lead with a minute to go before, Stephen. If I'm CSU, I want to be making these free throws in the last couple minutes.
Ja'Cory Payne at the line. Fort Valley's throwing it in the ocean right now.
Throwing it in the ocean and coming up with whales.
That's 8 second-half three-pointers, 6 of them here in the last couple minutes. So it's going to make this look like a lot closer game than it was really for most of it, but credit Fort Valley, they haven't quit by any means. Nearly a turnover, and now it turns into numbers. Blocking foul coming up, and even the shot after the whistle went down. They really cannot miss right now. Bryant with a step back well after the whistle. Obviously didn't count, but it hit barely any net on its way through.
When you're hot, you're hot. I want to be saving those for the gameplay, though, young man.
It'll send Leroy Broner to the line. He doesn't get the first one to go. 15 of 29 from the foul line for Fort Valley State. 14 of 25 for CSU. Yeesh.
That's one way to say it.
15 of 30. That's easy math, 50%. Harassing Ja'Cory Payne, and they're going to send him back to the foul line. And just what everybody wanted to see, more free throws.
Well, the officials are certainly make their whistles feel special tonight. The workout of the season.
Free throw attempts 56 and 57 for the game coming up. It's going to help Ja'Cory Payne's scoring average, though. Payne came in averaging less than a point per game. He has 5 and a chance at 6 now. Six second-half points for Ja'Cory Payne.
Triple his previous career high.
I thought Garr was about to take that from 30 feet. Probably go in at the rate they're going at right now. They drop it off to Garr underneath. Had it blocked, but he's headed to the line. Foul is on Dixon. That's number 4.
Timmy sharing some words with Jamal Garr.
Give credit to the crowd behind us. They've stuck around as well to see this one all the way through. They've been chirping a little bit, especially here lately. Garr now with 12. Again, he came into the night with 5 points all year. Good rebound for Marcus Boyd.
Now Will Howard's back on the court. See if he can finally get one of them to fall.
Payne to the rim, right hand, no. Dixon tries to flush it, but he was fouled on the way up. At this point, it's just a game of anything you can do, I can do better, trying to one-up the other. So Tim Dixon to the line, a chance to set a new career high in a CSU uniform. And he'll do so. 11 for the big man tonight.
In a game of little to smile about from the free throw line, Tim Dixon, not one you'd expect to shoot very well, but he has. Swish, swish, both times.
Down to 1 minute to go. 92-72 is Garr again from downtown. It's getting borderline ridiculous here late. Fort Valley State really cannot miss from downtown. These freshmen off the bench have been extremely good. Davis to the rim, doesn't go. And CSU will keep it with 41.3. Howard, a 3. Finally, it goes down for Will Howard. They've been waiting on that one all night. Howard gets it to go. It's a 20-point game again, under 40 seconds left. The 2 is short. Pressey saves it. Turner thought about another one. Instead, he'll drive, falling down. Dixon grabs another rebound, and that should wrap things up. Dixon picks up his 7th board of the night. Shot clock off, game clock down, ticking under 15. And CSU is going to improve to 6-1 on the season. Cougars 6-1 in non-conference play, and they will head into Saturday's action against Armstrong State, the Peach Belt Conference opener. 6-1 after a 95-75 final victory over Fort Valley State tonight. CSU controlled this one throughout. Dominated pretty much from start to finish over Fort Valley. Used a run midway through that first half to pull away, and they will pick up the 20-point victory, a second 3-game winning streak for them on the season. and they will improve to 6-1 before they head off into the conference portion of the schedule. D'Angelo Kirkland led the Cougars tonight, 20 points for the big man. Didn't pick up a double-double, but he did grab 7 rebounds in the process. 5 Cougars in double figures, 19 for Kenny Funderburk, who barely played any in that second half. B.J. Battle with 14 on 6 of 7 shooting. 12 and 7 for Tim Dixon, a new career high for him. 10 points for Dimitri Davis. 8 for Ja'Cory Payne, and every Cougar but Marcus Boyd and Chevy Keaton got in the scoring column tonight. 21 points for Tyrone Brinson leads the way of all scorers, and he paces the Wildcats tonight. 21 for him. He was 7 of 11 from the field, 4 of 5 from downtown. Jamal Garrer, coming off the bench, tripled his career output for the season with 15 tonight. He was 4 of 4 from downtown. Derek Spear in his return to the Lumpkin Center gets 10. Douglas Turner was a perfect 2 for 2 from downtown. He had 9. J.R. Bryant finishes with 5. So that duo of Garrer and Turner, the freshmen off the bench in mop-up duty, go 7 for 9, including 6 of 6 from downtown, and they get 24 points on the night. CSU finishes the night at 51% overall. 5 of 16 from 3, and right at their season average, 62% from the foul line. Fort Valley State finishes 41% from the field, 57% from 3. Of course, those numbers inflated with the way they shot the ball down the stretch. 95-75 the final. We're right back here in this building less than 24 hours from now to wrap things up for a women's game. Tomorrow night, 5:30 the tip time from the Lumpkin Center. Albany State in town to take on the Lady Cougars, who look to stay perfect on the season and try to complete a perfect non-conference portion of their schedule. 95-75 the final here. We join you tomorrow just before the 5:30 tip-off here on Cougar Sports TV for the final non-conference game of the season. That'll wrap things up for us here in Columbus on Cougar Sports TV. For everybody here at Columbus State University, CSU Athletics, and Cougar Sports TV, this is Stephen Williams saying so long from Columbus, Georgia.